Picture the same birthday party. Two people arrive within a minute of each other. One steps out of a car so new, it still has the temporary plate from the dealership taped in the back window, holding a bag she bought that same afternoon. The other parks a car that's 10 years old, with a coffee stain worn permanently into the passenger seat, wearing the same jacket she's worn to every holiday for the last 3 years. If I asked you which one has more money sitting in the bank, you already have an answer in your head. Almost everyone does, and here's where it gets strange. Across America right now, the woman in the 10-year-old car is statistically the safer bet. The one who looks like she's arrived is far more likely to be one bad month away from real trouble. The one who looks like she's just getting by is far more likely to be the one quietly winning. So how did we get here? How did looking successful and actually having money become two almost opposite things? That question is the whole video, because looking unimpressive on purpose has quietly become one of the smartest moves a person can make with their money. And the people who've actually built wealth figured that out a long time ago. Let's start with who's really sitting in that new car, because the picture isn't what the ads want you to believe. Millions of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now, and a surprising share of them are earning 6 figures. Most households would struggle to cover a sudden $1,000 expense without going into debt for it. And a large piece of the $1 trillion+ Americans carry in credit card balances isn't there because of emergencies. It's there because of performance, because keeping up a certain look costs real, recurring money. Here's the part almost nobody says out loud. The loud version of success and the real version of success are rarely the same person. We've just been trained our whole lives to mix them up. That's not an accident. Humans have always read status as information: who had resources, who was safe to trust, who was worth aligning with. That instinct never disappeared. It just got hijacked by financing terms. Today, the signal is a lease, a logo, a kitchen renovation. We're not really buying the object. We're buying a sentence we hope other people say about us in their heads. And the uncomfortable joke is that everyone around us is buying that same sentence, so we're all performing for an audience that's too busy performing back to notice. That's how you end up on the treadmill. You upgrade, you feel the lift for a few weeks. The lift fades, the new thing becomes your normal, and you reach for the next upgrade, just to feel that same spark again. And the treadmill speeds up every time your income does. That's why so many people who earn more somehow feel just as stretched as they did years ago. Here's the idea underneath all of it, and once it clicks, you start seeing everyone around you differently. Spending is the show. Net worth is the vault. The show is whatever people can see: the car, the outfit, the vacation photos. The vault is what's actually sitting there behind it, growing or empty, and almost nobody gets to look inside. Someone can put on a spectacular show and have a vault with a hole in the bottom, spending every dollar the moment it lands. From the outside, they look like they've made it. Someone else can run a quiet, unremarkable show and have a vault that's filling steadily, year after year, without anyone clapping for it. The car in the driveway tells you about the show. It tells you nothing about the vault. And the louder the show, the more often it's covering for a vault that's nearly empty. The people who actually get wealthy stop competing over the show, which everyone can see, and start competing over the vault, which almost nobody can. Looking unimpressive is often just what a full vault looks like from the outside. Let me make this real with two people you've probably known. Two friends, Naomi and Blair, started their first real jobs the same month, same starting pay, same city. Naomi leased a car that matched the job title, moved into a bright one-bedroom that stretched her budget to the edge, and every year her spending crept up right alongside every raise. From the outside, she looked like the one who had it together. Blair kept driving the car she already had, split a plain 2-bedroom with a roommate, and quietly moved a chunk of every paycheck into an investment account before she ever saw the number in checking. For years, she looked like the friend who was falling behind, the one who never treated herself. Then, 5 years in, Naomi's mother needed emergency dental surgery, and the bill that showed up wasn't covered by insurance. $6,000 due within the week. Naomi didn't have it. She put it on a card at over 20% interest and spent the next 2 years paying it down. Blair transferred the money out of her account that same afternoon, barely thought about it again, and helped her own parents without missing a single plan she already had for the year. Same income the whole way through. Same city. Same 5 years. The only real difference is that one of them spent that time buying the appearance of having it together, and the other spent it quietly building the real thing. Invisible for years, until the moment it wasn't. So here's what that actually looks like in practice, translated into moves you can start this week. Move your money before you feel it. Set your savings or investment transfer to happen the same day your paycheck lands, before the number ever shows up as spendable in your head. Willpower runs out. Automation doesn't. Decide what enough costs before a raise arrives, not after. When more money comes in, treat it as a chance to widen the space between what you earn and what you spend, not as permission to fill that space right back up. Buy things because they work, not because you're bored of the old one. Before a bigger purchase, ask how many times you'll actually use it and divide the price by that number. A jacket worn twice is expensive. The same jacket worn 200 times is basically free. Rent your curiosity before you buy it. A new hobby is a guess, not a commitment. Borrow the gear. Try the cheap version. See if it sticks before you build a whole setup around something that might not survive the month. Watch where you're pointing your attention. A lot of the pressure to spend has nothing to do with your actual life. It comes from watching people you've never met perform a version of success they can't necessarily afford either. You're not really competing with them. You're just watching them lose the same game you could choose not to play. I want to be honest about something, because it might matter more than everything else in this video. None of this works on its own. You can know that a paid-off car beats a lease, but if you don't understand how compounding actually works, you'll panic the first time the market dips and undo years of progress in a single afternoon. You can decide what enough looks like for you, but if you've never learned the difference between debt that builds you up and debt that quietly drains you, you'll make confident decisions that are completely wrong. Most people who stay broke at higher incomes didn't skip the advice to spend less. They heard it plenty. What they were missing was the understanding underneath it, the part that makes the advice finally stick instead of fading out after a few weeks. Looking unimpressive is the strategy. Actually, understanding your money is what makes the strategy hold. Go back to that birthday party one more time. The temporary dealer plate, the coffee-stained seat, two completely different stories about success standing 3 feet apart. You see them differently now. You know which one is more likely free and which one is more likely stuck. And you know the real gap was never about income. It was about understanding. So next time you feel that pull to spend money proving something to people who probably weren't paying attention anyway, remember that party. The quietest person in the room is very often the one who already won.